Hello and welcome to the Alfa Romeo 4C Group 3 road car. Now this is a very special vehicle and in my opinion it has one of the weirdest combinations for an engine swap in Gran Turismo 7. But before we go over the engine swap, let's go over how the standard 4C road car actually feels. So we have a mid-engine rear-wheel drive Italian sports car. What can really go wrong with that? So when it comes to handling, it has a very similar feeling to the full-on race car that it's based off of. So the biggest difference that you'll notice between the road car and the GR3 race car has to be the fact that the road car has a brake horsepower of 443 brake horsepower, whereas the standard full-on race vehicle has 495 brake horsepower. So that 50 brake horsepower you really feel it when you're coming out of corners and going down a straight line. But when it comes to cornering, the race car does still have a bit of an edge over the road car, and that has to be the fact of the rear wing. Now on the road car we do not have a massive rear wing creating downforce for us, so straight away we are at a disadvantage when it comes to cornering. But that does not mean that the road car handles poorly, because you are still able to take a lot of corners practically flat out, and just the way it's so responsive and darty all over the place just makes it a fun driving experience, almost like the original 4C that the car is originally based off of. So the car is extremely lightweight. It weighs 1320 kg, so that 443 brake horsepower figure is ample to get this car around the circuit in a reasonable time. Now when you come to even modifying the engine, well, you can't really do much to the standard engine. Majority of parts are non-applicable, so you can't really gain that much power. Well, you can slap a turbocharger on it, but we aren't gonna do that because that takes up too much time and it's really just, it's not worth it in my opinion. So if you head on over to GT Auto, well, you're gonna be in luck, because as I said, this vehicle has an engine swap. Now the standard 4C also has an engine swap, so you would think that Gran Turismo would make this have that same engine swap. And I mean, it's the engine from the Ferrari 458, and that 4C with the 458 engine in it is really up there with being one of the best cars you can own in Gran Turismo 7. So you would expect them to bring over that same engine just for the road car. However, that is not what we receive. However, we can put the V8 from the Suzuki Vision GT GR3 race car. It's such a weird combination and I would never have guessed it. I mean, yes, we have engine swaps that are, how do I say, expected. Like we have the 2JZ going into the Toyota 86. We have the LS9 going into the Trans Am. Majority of the LT engines going into Camaros, Nissans, you know, typical things. Then we also have like the Coyote engines going into the Mach 1. You know, things that you expect to see when it comes to engine swapping. So when I saw that we had the ability to take the Suzuki Vision GT GR3's engine and put it into the Alfa Romeo, it should make for a very spicy build. Because straight away we see that the standard power jumps up by over 100 brake horsepower. Now by just applying the engine swap, we now bring the power up to 575 brake horsepower. However, we do add 50 kgs to the overall weight of the vehicle. So yes, there is a give and there is also a take, but I feel like it's giving a lot more than it's actually taking. So straight away this should make the vehicle a lot more livelier. But what's even crazier is the fact that we can still head on over to the tuning shop and still add on little bits here and there. Well, when I say little bits, I mean we can add a high RPM turbocharger, and that will then bump up the brake horsepower to 789 brake horsepower. A damn near 800 horsepower Alfa Romeo 4C GR3 road car. That's just gonna be a fun build, because I mean with what, almost half the power the vehicle was still loads of fun, incredible around corners. Now the only thing that I'm really concerned about has to be the overall braking system of the Alfa now. But once we finish, go find a livery, put it on, and then bring the car back out onto circuit, well, the vehicle just is so different. Now the V8 from the Suzuki is just two motorcycle engines glued together to create the V8, and it really sounds like it. Just like the Honda S660, it also has a motorcycle engine in it, but this is tiers and just levels better compared to that motorcycle engine. Now I did mention the fact that I was concerned that with upping the power that the braking system would not be able to handle it. Well, luckily it is, and it's actually quite surprising. But I think it's because we are in a modern vehicle that's loosely based. I mean, it's just a stripped and a little bit detuned version of a full-on race car. I don't know why I thought the brakes wouldn't be able to handle this level of power, but I'm just glad to say that they do. Now, with the braking being the way it is, and with the acceleration from the increased power levels, well, it just means you're gonna set a whole lot of faster lap times. And around Kyoto Driving Park, my fastest lap time was a 1 minute 32 seconds with the engine swap now in the vehicle. When the vehicle was standard, I was setting lap times around the 1 minute 40 mark, so that is a very big difference. Now with this V8 being a Group 3 engine, that means the fuel economy isn't half bad. That means overall the fuel economy has increased tenfold. And with it having great fuel economy, that means this is an eligible vehicle when it comes to money grinding. Now on racing soft tires and having a high RPM turbocharger, downforce maxed out, the vehicle is just over 700 performance points. So with a little bit of tuning, this is a perfect vehicle for the WTC 700 around Le Mans. Overall, the vehicle is incredibly good, super fun, and just a really light-hearted build. Now it's not as serious as other full-on like Group 1 engine swaps, but it offers a decent ride, decent handling, and decent power. Now for the cost, they are cheaper with better overall performance, but this is relatively a good swap. But it's just so unexpected, which really just threw me off. So you're spending 300,000 on picking up the vehicle, you're spending 325,000 on the engine swap, and then you still need to spend another couple of thousand on that high RPM turbocharger and just the other bits to just help it get around corners a lot faster. And once you do all of that, you are gonna have one heck of a vehicle. And overall, it's a really decent swap. Am I gonna say it's one of the best engine swaps? No, but is it actually worth picking up? I think so. So with that being said, I hope you guys did go and to enjoy this video. Don't forget, leave a like and subscribe for more GT7 content, or if you want to just see more content like this, well, you know what to do. And if you want to see another video, it's on screen right now. Peace.